Happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Monday, everybody. My name is Kiara Gladney, and I am the host of Mask Off, a charity movement podcast. And I'm so excited for another episode where we dive into real topics. We talk to real people who have an amazing story. And I'm so excited for my first guest outside of Dr. Jackie Gree of this season. Three amazing women who started an amazing movement. Let me set the stage. April 30th, 2024, we were bombarded, especially in the Apostolic Pentecostal community, of a new movement that was coming to Cincinnati, known as the Housewives of Good Eats, where they eat where they eat, fellowship, and they told us what they were going to do, what they were planning to do, giving food reviews, doing it together as friends. And on this podcast, we always talk about how much friendship means and what it could mean, especially in mature women's sisterhood. It's just such an important thing. And the fact that these three ladies came together to start an amazing thing. If you are not aware of them, you will be after this podcast. They are known together collectively as the Housewives of Good Eats. Leah, Shyla, Markima, thank you for coming on the Charity Movement podcast. How are you all feeling?
We're great.
Amazing.
Yes.
We're very excited.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Yes. We thank you for us being your show. It's great. It's a great opportunity.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you for saying yes. I know that you all are busy, ladies, and so I just am appreciative of you taking the time out to talk to me and our audience today. So we're going to get into all of the questions, all of the things. So the first thing is the brand. What inspired you to start a food review brand?
Well, I will say that the idea did come to me as a business major in college. I just really honestly look at a lot of things as far as starting businesses is concerned. And I was like, you know what? I feel like, because I haven't seen it out, right? I don't really see on social media as far as Instagram is concerned that there's three women who are Black women, mothers, wives, and they have a food brand, right? We love food.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I really, I was like, it's easy. It's really easy to start this. I was like, yeah, we always take pictures of food anyway.
Right.
We're always going out
Yes,
anyway.
together. We're
Yes.
always with our husbands, our family, our kids. We're
Yeah.
always together.
Yes.
And we
Yes.
even host. We all host when we get a
Yes.
chance
Yes.
at our own homes. We cook. We actually have our own business, me and my husband.
Yes.
And whenever even after church, we just might come and just have food together, just a
Yeah.
random day. And we just love to eat and fellowship.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's simple, really. So
Yeah.
Wow. That is so awesome. Oh my goodness, I need to get to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. Okay. So how do you balance? I heard you say you are mothers, you are wives, all three of you are ministers' wives as well. How do you balance food and fellowship with your roles and all of your responsibilities?
I probably would say definitely just having that balance as far as, making time out to schedule things and, putting it in our calendar. We even have our Housewives of Good Eats calendar where we all
yes.
just make it, put our things in there that we are trying to do on each day. And
Yeah, we really try to plan it out, especially this year. Like we did talk about it last year as far as planning things out, right? We were trying to do it month by month, I think, really.
Yeah.
This year, I think we tried to we need to look at like a 3-month out schedule because
Yeah.
things can happen, right?
Yeah.
So, and then actually really month to month, we do check back to make sure that we are good with what it looks like. Because as you know, wives and mothers, especially I would say emphasis more on the mother's part, things can change.
Mhm.
It's not always going to be just, one way. It might be one way this month. Next month, we might have something pop up for the kid or something like that, or we have to change a date. So we try to be flexible. So
Yeah, we also try to take our husbands' like time into consideration
Yes.
too,
Yes.
because not only are they like our husbands, but they're also 9 times out of 10 either behind the camera or
Right.
taking care of the kids for us. So like if they have something going on, we have to like let's check with our husbands 1st and see if we have the time, like what our schedule looks like, and then we can kind of plan to get together and plan our schedules out from there. So
Yes.
honestly, it's just about being intentional and like actually trying to just be intentional with family, with us as friends, and just all of that together.
Yeah,
So
planning is a big thing.
Yes.
And our book, it really is. You
Yes.
gotta plan.
Okay, so I heard you talk about your friendships. How long have you three been friends?
Let's start.
That's funny.
So we
Start with the husbands.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's
start
start
with
okay.
them.
They've been friends since they were young
And
boys.
yeah, my
especially-
husband and her husband went to preschool together.
Yes.
Oh wow!
I'm sorry, they went to church together.
Yes,
My
same
husband and
church.
her husband went to preschool together.
Yeah, so
different
really started out with
churches.
them, I feel
So
like.
yeah, it started off with
then-
Denzel and Sean, and then
Yes.
they both went, and because Sean was friends with her husband Darius, they all kind of came together and they became friends. So they honestly grew up together.
Really,
So,
they did.
yeah.
And then meeting, so I feel like but then meeting like you, I feel like I knew you outside of Denzel and Sean.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how
Yeah.
that happened too.
And how long ago was that? Maybe
Lord.
were you guys still in college?
So-
I know.
I was in college.
Sean, we were both we were with our husbands dating them at the time.
dating
so
them.
I think I had just started dating, so I want to
You
say
know, it's
maybe
like,
7 or 8
10
years.
ago? Do you think it was 10 years ago?
It was 2016
'Cause
actually.
Okay.
So
Well,
almost 10
gosh,
years.
Almost 10 years. But then Kima, I felt like she came on the scene because I met her through her husband started bringing her
I
around.
want to say
how long do you think?
right after
It was
COVID,
right before I got married.
yes,
It was
Right before you got married. Okay.
So I want to say, so for me and
That
her,
year.
like about 9 years. For
Mhm.
all three of us, around
Coming up on
almost 5
5
years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. We
Yeah,
should really break that.
5
We
years.
should think about
I know.
Listen.
I gotta break it all down.
Coming up on 5
We
years.
are doing math around here.
You know that scene when it comes up in the map?
They were carrying the one.
What was that?
Listen, they were doing pure math. They were carrying the one.
Yes.
They were solving for y. This is
It's not long. It's not that long.
It's-
That's all we have.
but all we have to say is a long time. Okay.
Yeah,
A long time is what
Yeah.
it is. Okay. Okay, so I hear that there is a stair-stepping conundrum in your friendship. Can you tell me a little bit about that, Shyla?
Yes. So my husband and we got married in 2020. They got married. We also had our baby in 2021.
Yeah.
So we got pregnant with her like 3 months after. She got married in 2021.
Yeah.
Had her baby in 2022.
Wow.
She got married in 2022. Had her baby in 2023.
Wow.
Basically, we're all okay. I got married in September. She got married in October. October. And wait, you're so sorry.
I'm sorry.
Over.
Go.
You got married in August.
Yeah.
I got married in September and October.
Yeah.
And we had our kids. My daughter was born in September. Hers was born in October.
October.
And then hers was born in November. So it's like literally stair steps.
Yeah.
Not only are the years stair step,
Yeah.
the months are too.
Yeah.
For marriages and for
Our kids.
Wow.
Her second baby.
In September.
In September. So it's like right
By
by. Oh, yeah. Yeah. September.
Oh, wow.
All of our kids.
That is so.
you're very intertwined. You know, but I do hear that they say that it's most likely for like you to get pregnant if you're friends, if you're out of community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
It's very true. My eldest son, his birthday is in September. My youngest son, his birthday is in October.
Oh, wow.
And our household, my birthday is in August. My 6-year-old is in September. My husband and my 3-year-old are in October.
So yeah.
My birthday
It's too. It's about anniversaries. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. It's and my days
7 days apart.
my best yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, it's just it just goes together,
It does.
It's meant to be, God.
Yeah. Yeah. You always say like somebody has to break the cycle. Let's get about this. Especially now.
Or one of them to have the second baby.
Not I said no. No, no.
That is so funny.
But yeah.
So that is awesome. And I think that speaks to how when something is meant to happen and to work and people are meant to come together, it just happens. And I love the organic transition of friendships happening. And it started actually with your husbands, which is such an amazing thing. So in Cincinnati, has there ever been a business, a restaurant that left a lasting impression for you three?
Yes, I would probably say. Yeah, we
Truva.
say Truva.
Truva. Yeah.
It's like
It's a Turkish,
like a Mediterranean
Turkish
Yes.
Mediterranean
restaurant.
It was
Truva
like-
Turkish kitchen to put them on. Yeah.
Yes. We actually did a review on that.
Yeah.
When they first had opened, I want to say.
Yeah, they were new. I will say the Mason location was new. They had one in Kenwood.
Yeah.
But it was honestly really one of our first reviews too, I think.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how
That's why.
So they were great because I mean we just came in, right? And they had a big old table
For us,
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they were like, I feel like they were like nice to our kids.
Very
So
good.
we had a lot going
They
on.
were giving them snacks and
Yeah.
everything,
They
just
did.
like letting them run around and like just
very
letting-
attentive staff. They were very attentive.
Yeah.
The
They-
food was fresh.
Yes.
It was amazing.
Fresh, and they didn't have. With them, I feel like they didn't really they don't really overly season their food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think their culture is more about the quality of the food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Very
much
healthy,
of
very healthy.
yes,
if you're
very
trying to
healthy
stick to a
and-
diet, you might
Yeah.
want to. That's really
clean
great.
They're
too.
really
eating
good.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yes, clean eating.
Lamb
They're
was
amazing.
fresh and nice and tender. It was really good.
And they don't let you overeat either. Like
That's
it's not like
true.
massive plates.
Yeah.
It was like a nice, like healthy portion enough to get you full.
Mhm.
But
They
9
had
times out of 10,
shareable.
Yeah.
they had some shareable meals as well. But like they're like individual that you're not gonna like overeat there. You're gonna eat
they're
your dinner and
very
you're gonna
good
leave.
people. Very good people. Very
So,
nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Okay. So going back to being Christian women, having this brand, doing these different things, especially with you talking about having a schedule and really being accountable for your time as well as your husband's time and your children's time. What advice would you give to the Christian woman who feels overwhelmed trying to juggle multiple roles at once?
So I would say you have to know what season you're in and giving yourself grace for those seasons, because honestly, it can be a lot. And really, okay, so I I think a lot of us are kind of like this, but well, this group, but I'm an introvert, right? So back being single.
I feel like we
stuff.
all
So like being like single and stuff, I didn't really feel like I had enough on my plate, but it's not as much as you having a child and having a husband. So, trying to try to balance everything with that. Really, you, like I said, you have to give yourself grace for the season. You have to know what season you're in. Mm-hmm. It's not single you anymore, but you said Christian women too, right? So even if it's just, say you don't have a husband and kids at this moment, but you desire to, you still know what season you're in. It can be a lot. Because even when I was in school and everything too, I was trying to finish. I was 24 years old, and me thinking that I should have finished way before then and stuff, and kind of putting that pressure on myself, because I was like, oh, I want to be married by this time, like 24, I want to get my life together.
Not 24.
Right, 24. But no, I mean, it's like you have to, like, you have to try to find contentment, honestly, with it. You really do, and just give yourself grace. That's really the biggest thing. It's a learning process, because you don't want to sometimes I feel like we can be so hard on ourselves, and we can look at the other another person and be like, oh, well, well, they got this going on, so that's why you're kind of feeling this way. Or sometimes you have to look at yourself like that too, and be like, no, you have this going on, so you need to, take it one step at a time, one day at a time.
Give yourself some grace.
Yeah.
And I believe having a village as well to juggle everything.
Yes.
And older people to let them pour into you and help you with the things that you are dealing with, to balance it all. And you can just glean from them and they can tell you their experiences.
They do have a lot of wisdom. They have a lot of wisdom, on how to handle stuff that's overwhelming.
And pull on your group. Make sure you have a great group of women that challenge you to do better. And I think that will be the best thing to do as far as trying to juggle everything.
And I think too, like, if you're overwhelmed, try to like prioritize. That's been like my one of the things I'm really trying to learn is like how to prioritize certain things. Sometimes, depending on the season, sometimes like certain things will have to go on the back burner until I'm able to get settled in like the most important thing in my life, which obviously is like God and family. So like if my family is good, then I feel like better about being able to extend myself to other areas in life. So I think you just have to try your best to prioritize. And if something is too much, see if either you can outsource it or if you're not able to, because not everybody even has a village. Not everybody has friends. And I was even in a place like that at one point in my life. So I understand like being in on your own and having like work and life and family and all the things going on. There were times where I wanted to focus like on another business idea, and I had to put that on the back burner because school was more important or family was more important in that time. So honestly, it's just about prioritizing your time in your life and, in each season and reevaluating yourself in different seasons. It's not always going to work. At one time, it's not going to be a copy and paste for every season in your life. So just learn how to reevaluate and prioritize the best you can.
It's good. Yeah.
I love that. And what I hear is, in addition to you making sure that you give yourself grace in whatever season you are in, it is very important to not have unrealistic expectations for yourself.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
And I hear all three of you saying that in different and beautiful ways, because I think as women, as Christian women, as mothers and wives, like, that is such a mouthful. And it's so many different focuses that we have. So sometimes it's always good to kind of slow that pace down and remember that you can only take it one day at a time. And so I appreciate that in the beginning of the interview, how you talked about how, let's do a 3-month calendar, not a 1-year calendar. Because it might not be realistic, and that's okay.
And I think it isn't working because we, the first few months we were doing that, we really started last year. And so just like looking over the course of those months, we were like, all right, we're not consistent enough with our content. We're like sporadic and we need to like figure out what we need to do and work it out better to where it benefits all of us. So let's schedule this out and like have mandatory meetings. We can be flexible about the time frame, but like just have mandatory meetings about what life needs to look like for a specific amount of time. And then just kind of be flexible with each other throughout those times. So
and if possible, block off those dates where because this is important to us. And our husbands understand that this is important to us. And if we need to block off those times, if it's nothing already scheduled, for sure. I think,
schedule around it.
I love that. And I think that is another part of being a woman and having so many responsibilities that people that they underestimate. And it is that there are things and dreams that we have in our hearts to do. And I love how before you ended that sentence, you talked about how it is important to all of us. And that it is something that our husbands are aware of as well. And I think that says a lot. I think that says a lot about the support that your spouses have in you. And I think that says a lot about what is a priority to you? Because I think that a lot of women are like, well, I like this hobby, I have this hustle, but I don't really want to invest that time to make it a priority. So I'm
Right.
just amazed that you three kind of collectively agreed to that, and your spouses also were like, okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Okay, so we talked about you all and your business and the priority. We also talked about the husbands and how they came to be and how they support you three. How do you, even now, because I mean, you three are entrepreneurs at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you instill, or do you instill some of those same like skills, or at least the space to dream for your children? Do you kind of see how you are kind of helping them as well?
Yes, I would say for me, I have two boys. They're 5 months and 2. Just the very basic things of having responsibility, where there's just like cleaning up his room and try to keep him focused on a task.
Mm-hmm.
I think that kind of ties into the entrepreneurship, as far as being intentional about your work and,
Yeah.
and staying focused on the things that you have to do and giving it your best.
Mm-hmm. And that's good though, because honestly, her having her boy first, her motherhood on how she raises her son, I do look up to. So I do try to, like, for me, I like a schedule, but for my son, you know, he's only one right now. But I do like to just, like, you know, whatever the day brings, what are we doing? You know, just kind of free flow with it, honestly. Now there will be more structure put in place as he gets older, but really growing up, I mean, I was homeschooled, right? So I am used to being able to pursue what passions I want to do, right? It's not just, oh, you have to do this, that, and third. So much so to where I can't, you know, see what I want to do with my own self. Not told what to pursue and whatnot. So I want him to feel like that he has that freedom to do that in a, you know, confined, moral, godly manner and whatnot. So yeah, that's really for me.
Yeah. I think for me, it's my parents, they kind of always, they were working parents, always have been. And so I think they also, my mom went to school for business, and so she kind of started to pour into me business mind, like from a very young age. And so I've always been business minded because she's just instilled that in me. And so I very much plan to do that with my own daughter, so much so that, like, when I was younger, I knew my daughter's name. I created a business based off of my daughter. Like, I knew that she was coming. I wasn't sure when. I wasn't even married at the time, but I knew that she would come at some point. And so I created a business even for her. And so my idea is not to just, you know, pound that specific business idea into her head, because if that's not something that she wants to do, I'm okay with that. I want to, you know, nurture whatever desire that she has, or whatever business ideas that she may have later on. However, I want for the business that I create for her to be able to fund whatever she decides to do in the future. And so I started thinking about my daughter's future from before she was here, before I was married. And so I think that's, like, very important for me to instill some sort of business mind in her, because I think the best thing we can hand down to our children is a secure life. And so I want that for her so badly. You know, my mother helps with, you know, she even told me, like, invest for her, put things in her name, and, you know, things like that. So my husband and I, we've already started to do that. You know, like, we invest for her, and we've created businesses for her, and just, like, trying to, you know, continuously pour that into her, even if, like I said, she doesn't want to do it in the future. That's fine. Yeah. Choose something else, but this will fund it. And if you want to take this over, great. But I just want her to have that experience as she grows up. And when she's ready to start a job, she can work for me. And then we can teach her the business. Yes. And, you know, I want her to be able to have that responsibility. As far as now, She's only 3, so she's not really understanding what business is at the moment. She's just not really knowing what money is, so she's excited about that. But you know, aside from that, she watches her parents, and we just hope that we can instill that in her as she grows and foster that as well.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, all 3 of us want to instill just the basic of who Christ is in our lives and how we, as their parents, husband and wife, we want to show them just how we feel about Christ and what we believe, just the basics. Because they're so young still, but we still try to instill in them what God is to us as a family, as a group, and make the best of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's amazing. I love how you all are trying to instill Christian principles in their lives, even at an early age. But I'm also really amazed, and I'm very thankful that you all added information about things that your parents helped you with and they helped teach you, because we really sometimes we take it for granted when we have parents that provide us a village where we have supports in certain areas. I'm just very glad, Shyla, that you talked about how your mother instilled these business principles in you, because I was having some conversations with some leaders in the city that I'm in about how we take it for granted that our parents gave us these tools, because a lot of our youth in our city, a lot of our young adults in our city do not have the grace, they don't have the privilege of having parents that teaches them these fundamental tools. So the fact that you said this openly really helps for me to push it out to other youth and young adults in our communities to know, even if you don't have these skills because your parents didn't teach you, this is somebody that you can hear from that can tell you, before you have children, try to give them something in their name that will become revenue for them. Try to give them something that can be passed down, because we are giving them spiritual legacy because we're giving them Jesus Christ. But we also want to give them physical legacy in property and ownership and business and money and bonds and all these things. And so I'm so grateful that you brought that up, because I don't think we talk about that enough. We give our children, especially in the Christian faith, we give our children Jesus, which is all that they need in terms of life and godliness. But the Lord gave us wisdom to obtain wealth.
Yes. Right. He did.
Right. Yeah, he did. So I am so grateful. I'm so excited. I am literally like, I have chills because of the conversation that we are having right now, because I don't think we talk about that enough, of how we want to be able to give our children freedom. The ability to dream. And as a young person who did not have my parents did not they weren't able to afford me with that, but they gave me the tools to be able to obtain that. And so I'm thankful that you said that, because we need to talk to our children more about, you can have this, even if your parents didn't have it, you can have it. And so I'm just really grateful that you brought that up today. Okay, we are now talking about growth and impact. Where do you see Housewives of Good Eats going? Like, what is next for you for 2025?
Honestly, there's a lot of things. So we've talked about things where we want it to go.
Yeah, as far as traveling.
Yes, especially traveling out more. I would say to go to different restaurants that are not in the city. Yes, we're based in Cincinnati. However, it's
if we
anywhere.
go on a girls' vacation, we'll definitely have footage where we want to review the food or popular restaurants in different popular areas like Atlanta or somewhere that we can drive quick, even if it's just a weekend or something.
And then also I would say, to like the overall bigger picture, I would love for this to be a network, not just the three of us. It doesn't have to just end with the three of us.
Yeah.
One day, when we're out there more, it can be a network, a community of housewives, and we share recipes. Hey, you might have a good pot roast recipe you want to share, and you can be featured on our page. I wanted to grow beyond us. Like it can fund like non-for-profit organizations. I would love for it to help women and children in some type of way, maybe food banks and just something. So I'm very open.
Or we do fundraisers.
Yes.
Which we're actually planning.
Exactly. So stay tuned for that. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think that this is just a really amazing thing, and I know that we joked about it before we started recording, but wouldn't it be amazing? Okay, in the Christian faith alone, we can start there, and then of course we expand, right? But wouldn't it be amazing to have like a Housewives of Good Eats meetup in different areas? Like, wouldn't it be cool? I mean, Cincinnati is really not far from Detroit. Like, what if we had a meetup here, like in Detroit? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Listen, I feel like charity movement. I feel like we can organize it.
We got to do something.
We're wanting to do that this year. Like we're so like stay tuned for that, because we definitely want to be charitable. We want to like share. We might not have like all the money in the world. None of us are rich, but we want to be able to like share our wealth that we do have.
We want to do giveaways.
Help, like she said, help out mothers and kids, and food drives, and charity galas, and like all the different things. Like we have so many visions for that. So we're so excited to see where it goes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys want to do a Michigan meetup, I'm being very serious.
Come on.
Our organization will co-sponsor it with you.
Okay.
I think we should do it. I think because the ladies here are stressing me out. They said we need to do something together. Wait a minute, y'all.
Exactly.
Absolutely. We would love that.
I think that we see so many women, especially in reality TV, and I love that you brought up having a network of women, especially that represent your brand. And it is so important because on social media and on reality TV, we see so many women who have such fractured views of sisterhood and friendship.
Yeah.
So if we can show what it looks like to have sisters who applaud each other, who validate each other, and who push each other without jealousy, envy, or strife, I think that we beat the enemy's intent for us to be divided. And so I think that this is an amazing brand that you all have created. I think this is an amazing thing that is going to empower women. And before we end the podcast episode today, is there any other thing or any other way that the audience members, the people that are listening, that they can support you or find you on social media as well?
So we're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Yeah, basically everything, right?
Yeah, everything. Subscribe to all of it.
Please.
All of us.
Our name is the Housewives of Good Eats. If you search it up, we're there. So.
It's simple.
Very simple.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Share our
videos.
Share. Tell us if you want us to go places, like where you want us to go. Give us
Leave a
suggestions,
comment in our
that.
inbox. Below a comment. We are looking forward to seeing more interaction. On our pages.
Absolutely.
And we're ready for God to lead us.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. And so I will also add it in the description below the video. And so if you have any questions, you can always comment under this video as well. And I'll give you more details. I'll tell you about these lovely ladies. And without further ado, thank you so much for being a part of the podcast today. I'm so grateful that the three of you gave me some time to talk to you and learn more about the Housewives of Good Eats. And as always, thank you so much to all of my audience for tuning in today. I love you. I can't wait for the next episode of Mask Off, the Charity Movement Podcast. And remember that the only one stopping you is you. See you soon.
Bye.